My laptop always sounds like this, so I do apologise. Tonight, my live is about a beautiful woman called Katie Locke. Katie Locke was born in January 1992. Katie was 23 years old at the time of when she was murdered. And Katie was such a kind, caring, energetic, sociable, outgoing, beautiful woman. Katie graduated from university and taught in a school in Hackney. In November 2015, Katie joined a dating agency called Plenty of Fish and received a message from a man named Carl Langdale. Carl had said to Katie he was a lawyer and owned his own law firm, but unknown to Katie, Carl had a personality disorder with narcissistic and antisocial traits. Before they arranged to meet Christmas Eve in 2015, So now I'm going to go into like a bit of Carl Langford's like background, and I'm going to go back a few months to what was going on with Carl from February 2015. Hello, beautiful Donna. Thank you for popping in. Oh, big love to you, beautiful. I don't know if you know this story that I'm doing this evening, but it's similar to a story that I've done before, Grace Milan. I don't know whether you remember that live I done about a lady called Grace, but they're so similar, and this one is so sad. So yeah, big love to you, beautiful. Thank you for popping in. I love you. So yeah, I'm gonna show you a picture of Carl because I'm gonna go into his background a few months back in February 2015. So in February 2015, Carl was living at his girlfriend's then. So he was with somebody in 2015 at her parents' house in Avon, Somerset. And on 20th of March 2015, Carl Langdale made a call to a community psychiatric nurse saying he wanted to cut the throat of his girlfriend's sister, take her clothes off, see her naked, and then have sex with her when she was dead. So I do apologise. It's quite, yeah, it's not very nice. The nurse said she believed what Carl said should be believed. Soon as he learnt his threat had been reported by the nurse, he went on to call her again, threatening to cut her throat this time. After the call, he then called the Avon and Somerset police from outside his girlfriend's. Hello, Anne. Big love to you, beautiful. He then went on to call Avon and Somerset police from outside his girlfriend's parents' home, saying he was going to kill someone. He was then arrested for the 2 offences of making threats to kill, and he was granted bail with the conditions of him living at his parents' home in Hertfordshire. Unfortunately, at that time, Avon and Somerset police didn't notify Hertfordshire police of Carl's bail conditions. He was also given a mental health assessment by a doctor, and the doctor's report. Hello, Indigo. Big love to you, beautiful. Thank you for popping in. Big love to you. He was also given a mental health assessment by a doctor, and the doctor's report felt Carl was a high risk to women. These threats to kill women was real. The doctor also felt Carl had full capacity to understanding what he was saying and had no mental illness. But unfortunately, the doctor's report was only seen by one consultant in the NHS and wasn't seen till September 2015. So we're in March 2015 when he was seen by that doctor. Hello, Batman. Big love to you. Thank you for popping in. I understand how you feel and you can't watch these, but I big love to you and thank you for just popping in to say hello. I respect you all so much. Thank you. Between the 23rd of June 2015 and the 6th of July 2015, Carl was admitted to Kingsley Green Hospital due to serious suicide attempts. He was discharged on the 6th of July, but under the community mental health team. But on July the 27th, 2015, it was reported to Herts Police he threatened to cut his girlfriend's brother's throat. But his girlfriend was unwilling to press charges and it was recorded as a non-crime domestic abuse incident. On August 1st, 2015, Carl was admitted to the same hospital for the second time for another suicide attempt. The doctor, who was aware of Carl's threats to kill, placed Carl in an all-males ward in order to protect vulnerable women. Carl remained as an inpatient from August the 1st, 2015 till October the 2nd, 2015. A couple of days before Carl was discharged, he said to a nurse, "When you kill someone, make sure you document that." The staff reported it to the police, but the doctor said Carl would have been saying it in context through anxiety in the build-up of him being discharged, so it wasn't recorded as a crime. On the 2nd of December 2015, Carl appeared in court for the threats to kill previously. He was on bail and was given a 9-month prison sentence, suspended for 2 years, with a mental health treatment requirements. On the 3rd, 10th, 17th and 21st of December, Carl was seen by his offender manager, who said he didn't see him a risk towards her. But on the 11th of December, he visited his GP and tried to pressure her into prescribing 2 months of medication. She only prescribed 1 month due to his suicide attempts, but wasn't aware of his threats to kill. So now that brings me back to December the 23rd, just before Christmas Eve 2015, when Katie and Carl, they previously met on Plenty of Fish, and he was not like, he had like narcissistic traits, and he was messaging Katie, making her believe he was a lawyer, he had his own lawyer firm, and Katie arranged to meet up with Carl. So on the 23rd of December, Katie met Carl in a London bar, but hadn't told her mum that she'd met Carl on Plenty of Fish. As far as her mum and dad were aware, that she was going out with a friend of hers called Rosie. But Rosie, her friend, was aware that she was meeting Carl and had met him from Plenty of Fish. So during that evening, when Katie and Carl were out in the London bar, Katie messaged her friend Rosie and said everything's going really well. She said she was having a nice time, and would message her the next day to check in, like, with her friend. So around 1:30 a.m. on Christmas Eve now, Katie and Carl got a taxi to a hotel in Hertfordshire and arrived at the hotel at 3:30 a.m. in the morning. The hotel staff remembered Carl being very intoxicated, and Katie had to hold him up. Around 4 a.m, Katie rang reception asking for 2 toothbrushes, and at 9 a.m, Carl rang reception and asked for a late checkout for 2 p.m. and paid for it. He then put a do not disturb sign on the door. So between 4 a.m. and 9 a.m, Carl murdered Katie by strangling her. He also had sex with Katie's body after he murdered her, and then took photos of her body. He later that day viewed the photos before deleting them. Carl wrapped Katie's body in sheets and a duvet, and then dumped her body in a skip on the hotel grounds. After he had dumped Katie's body, he arranged to meet his girlfriend, who he had been dating for 2 months, who he met on a dating agency as well, but called Tinder. He met her in another hotel and told her he had killed someone, and said, "I will be going to prison for a long time." Katie's parents realised she hadn't come home and couldn't reach her by phone. Her dad went straight round to her friend Rosie's house, who they thought Katie was with, learning Katie went out with someone called Carl. Through my research, I researched Katie's dad managed to get hold of Carl's mum. So I'm gathering somehow through the dating agency, but he did manage to get hold of Carl's mum and asked his mum to ring him to find out where Katie was. She rang Carl and he said he had killed Katie, saying he was a monster. Katie's dad called the police straight away. He then went on to tell his mum he had too much to drink and it was a sex game gone wrong. He also told his mum where Katie's body was. He was arrested. He pleaded guilty to the murder. In his 2-week court trial, and was found guilty. He was sentenced to 26 years in prison in 2016. In his trial, Katie's dad asked the coroner to read out a statement for him, saying there was significant gaps, mistakes in the information sharing between Carl and agencies, police, GPs and hospitals. Even though it was Carl that murdered Katie, sharing information could have prevented Katie's death. And if Katie was here, she would say everyone can make mistakes, but actions need to be taken to prevent further deaths. And the police and Hertfordshire Police have Um, oh, hello, guess who too? Big respect to you. Thank you for popping in. Oh, guess who free? Sorry. Guess who free? Big respect. Thank you for popping in. And guess who too? Sorry. Yeah. So, Hertfordshire police have gone on to they've made actions now. So if anybody is high risk towards the public, they can, like, there's an action now where information will be shared through like all the areas, so everyone's aware. But in February 2021, Carl, aged 30, he died in prison after cutting his own throat. My heart goes out to Katie's family so much. And yeah, so rest in peace, Katie Locke. You know, beautiful angel, big love to her and to her family. Yeah. Has anybody heard of this one before? Because it is so it is similar to Grace Milan. I don't know whether you've watched my video on Grace Milan, but yeah, similar traits, definitely. They won't change it. Right. I don't know what I'm listening to. But yeah, it is such a sad, it's so sad. And yeah, my heart goes out to Katie's family so much. But bless you, Donna. But yeah, unfortunately, Katie lost her life through changes to be made. And, and if there wasn't any like gaps, it's so sad. And bless Anne. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, big respect to everyone. And thank you so much for popping in and showing the love and support. Thank you. Yeah, big love and respect to everyone. I don't know what that one is there, but big love. Peace out, everyone. Thank you.